What is going on, everybody? Welcome to TRB Live. I'm John. Thanks for being with us today. We hope everyone is doing well out there. With me, as always, James and Lacey. James has a brand new studio that he's operating out of. As you can see. He went with Minimalist Strange.
He's in the back rooms.
Guys, this is my regular place. I'm sorry. I did forget to turn on the lights though. They're on the warm color right now. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yep, I'm back.
There it is. Yep. There it is.
Got the purple going on.
Can you move a little bit to the left? A little bit. A little more. A little more.
It's the announcer from the pod race. Look
there you go. Yeah. Oh, little Skywalker's in trouble.
So for our audio listeners, James is in a temporary new location as his section of the resistance base is recovering from torpedo photon missile attacks. I don't know. Blaster fire. Anyway, James is putting up a background of himself. So there's two heads of James Bainey at some point now and again, which is fine. I don't know which one to look at. But we have a good show today. So thanks everybody for joining us. If you are with us live, we have a lot of news to talk about. So everything that you can imagine that's been going on in Star Wars D23, rumors, productions, trailers, teasers, Ben Solo, not Ben Solo. We're going to talk about it all. But we are also doing Ask the Resistance at the end of the show. If you have Star Wars questions you want us to talk about, just pop them in the live chat. Use hashtag Ask the Resistance. We'll get to them at the end of the show. We are also accepting super chats. Thank you for all the support there. Those will be sped up to the front of the line. But yeah, we have a lot to get into. So if you're new to the show, if you had met us at Rebel ScumCon, you wanted to check us out, just find the Resistance broadcast on your favorite podcast app or youtube.com/@TRB podcasts. Subscribe free. You get one show every week of the Resistance broadcast. Plus, you get Nerdy and Nice, which is our other podcast where we talk about all the other nerdy things we love in movies, TV, and pop culture. And that's on its own podcast feed, Nerdy and Nice. Check that out. No Nerdy and Nice is coming Monday because LG over here is going on a little family vacation. So, Lacey, are you ready to? Are you packed and ready to go? And you probably packed like 6 months ago for this.
So I have. We're taking a bit of a road trip to where we're going. Yeah, I got containers out. I'm organizing by type, and then I have suitcases organizing by things. I have a checklist that's like 3 pages long. Yeah, I'm a psychopath. It's all good. It's normal behavior for me.
Yes, absolutely. Status quo for you. So, guys, last thing I want to bring up is our merch. I'm obviously wearing our Texas design that we had for Rebel ScumCon. But if you want to check out all of our new stuff, we have Moof Milker tanks, Moof Milker t-shirts, May the Force be with y'all, in addition to all our other classics like the Resistance broadcast logo and Make Solo 2 happen. Head to trbpodcast.com, and you could also get access to the podcast at the bottom of the show via easy links. So trbpodcast.com for that. We'll get to Patreon later and how you can support us, but we're going to get into this now. Unless we had anything else at the top, Dave Filoni got asked the question, as he will until the end of time. Literally. At D23. He was asked, I guess not by the first. It took him a while down the press line, but someone eventually got him. And I apologize, I don't know who it was because it made the round so many times. But
I think there was a little bit of a lie there for him because Variety did ask him, but someone earlier in the line also asked him. I think he just forgot.
Oh, that's fair. So there's a few quotes here from him on that press line. The first that is probably the most popular is when he did the Jedi mind trick waving of the fingers. Yep. And he was asked, what's the deal with the Hunt for Ben Solo? Are you going to make it? And he does the hand wave and said, we're not making that picture right now. That's all I can say, which led to a lot of people saying, well, when Obi-Wan did that, he was trying to distract them from something that was real. So maybe they are making it. But then his other quote was, it's not here. You won't find it here. The Force is not with us in that regard. I love the love you feel for it, which that quote feels negative about the movie. Now, we all know it's very public, thanks to Adam Driver and Steven Soderbergh, that Lucasfilm greenlit this and they were doing pre-production for this. So asking Dave Filoni that question, in my opinion, doesn't matter because I think they were all sort of on board with it. It was Disney who cut it down. Now Disney new leadership, obviously with Josh D'Amaro. Does that change things? So Lacey, I know you are dying for not just a Ben Solo return. You want the Ben Solo figure. You want all the Ben Solo stuff to reemerge. I'll start with, what do you make of these quotes and knowing what we know about the hierarchy and who decided what about this? Where do you currently stand post D23 based on Dave Filoni's responses about the hunt for Ben Solo?
So I said this on Twitter, but I stand by it. I think there should be a panel at Star Wars Celebration that is just Dave Filoni answering questions for like 45 minutes straight, but like not giving answers. Like, see how many ways he cannot give an answer to things, because he's very good at it. Like, we have so many gifs of him being like, oh, that's interesting, or oh, that would be weird, but like he doesn't give any answers. And we know from the panels that he's always like, don't talk about that, to like straight up people trying to give a little bit of details, and he's always like, nope, we're not going to tell you. He's kind of made it his whole bit. So these things didn't surprise me, because he does this all the time. It's kind of his thing. He does this like little giggle and then he gives a non-answer. That being said, I think people are going to keep asking about this project because it is so popular and it is such a social media clickable moment that is going to drive so much engagement for these outlets. So they're going to keep talking and talking and talking about it. The mind trick thing is weird only because I'm like, I think he's trying to be clever, but at the same time, in the scheme of Star Wars, it's like Obi-Wan's trying to get them to forget what they're doing, so then they move on to something else. So it's like, are you trying to get them forget because you are working on it, or are you trying to get them to forget because you don't want to talk about it? It is weird that eventually over the weekend, Adam Driver is now going to Marvel, which obviously is not a conversation for the show, but it felt like we were being ditched a little bit. And he's at Pinewood, and I'm like, well, why else is he at Pinewood? And then someone caught a picture of him meeting with Soderbergh for dinner in London, and everyone's like, what does this mean? Now, obviously, it probably means nothing, but at the same time, when you have all these little things connecting the dots, I feel like Charlie Day and Sonny, like with the red line, being like, what does it all mean?
There's a blue butterfly somewhere.
Yeah, true. Imagine if Adam got like a little blue butterfly like tattoo on his neck or something, like people would lose it. He would never, but just imagine. Anyway, I think that this project was something that was definitely axed. But the way that people reacted and how much engagement was driven on social everywhere else about it, and conversations and just like constant barrage of stuff from fans, like the Hunt for Ben Solo campaigns that are going on with like sky planes and trucks that are circling the lots and stuff. Times Square in New York City. I don't think it's going to go away. And I do think it has gone from the never happening pile to what can we do here pile, whether it's the same exact project or bringing Ben Solo back in the new Rey movie, which all of you listening, if you've been listening for a while, if you haven't, first, welcome. We're excited to have you. But if you have been listening for a while, we have talked about the reworking of the Rey movie. And I strongly believe that the Ben Solo, Adam Driver stuff has been reworked into the movie, or is currently trying to, just because of the connections between the writers of both the films, the Ben Solo and then the Rey movie. They're both connected to each other. And then we talked about like how there's a group chat probably, and like they know each other. And then Daisy Ridley's been speaking with those people, and it's kind of like they're all interconnected. It's about family, that's what we always say.
Found family.
I heard he was at Pinewood Studios for episode 9 reshoots. I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
I wish he was. Like, I would honestly, if they were like, surprise, we reshot a bunch of stuff from episode 9 and we're re-releasing it with this new ending, I'd be like, hell yes.
John,
Let's do it.
I think you misheard. It's episode 9. And it was Stranger Things. That's what they're reshooting.
That's what it was. The ninth
Squid Game
episode. Yeah.
Season 3.
Well, so let's check in with half of James Baney. He's fading away like a Polaroid in Back to the Future.
I don't know why he wants to get rid of that.
There we
go. It's just that, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's the microphone.
He's been snapped. Speaking of Marvel.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
no Star Wars limb loss here. James is whole, and James is going to answer this. Dave, what do you make of Dave's quotes here, James?
No, I mean, I think Lacey is exactly right. I think the weird thing about it is, like, obviously one comment kind of leans positive, one kind of leans negative, but I think the negative comment still is positive if you just consider it from a different angle. I think that he's just saying, I'm not talking about it tonight. It's not here. That's not what we're doing. And so, like, there's a negative, like, to what he's telling this reporter, like, guys, we're not here to talk about the Ben Solo movie. It's not here. We're not doing that. That's not a thing, tonight. I think is sort of how maybe that is meant to be taken, because of the Obi-Wan comment and the we're not making that movie. That's all I can say. That just seems, I mean, he's not going to be someone who, like, misuses that quote. That move is not to, like, erase someone's memory.
Right.
It is to sort of get him out of the situation, like Obi-Wan, he wants to be out of this situation. So he's just saying, we're not making that movie. Let's move on. But I just don't take it that way. I think that there probably is more motion behind this movie now that it kind of got out there. And I think that was probably the plan all along. They were like, guys, Disney said no, and we really want to make this movie. The best I can say is that since it's completely scrapped, just go public with it. Just say you were going to make this movie, and we'll try to Deadpool this thing into existence.
I think NDAs ended. I think NDAs came to an end, and they immediately were like, we got this thing coming up. Like, we were talking about this thing. Because it's just the timing was so specific to, like, an 8-month NDA or 6-month NDA.
And very, very transparent about a lot of the details about it too. Like, they were like, we had
who said no.
This film was ready to go. These are the people who said no. Attack them.
Was this approved under Kathleen?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think that now that you have, I mean, not that the maybe the people who specifically said no, but you do have a bigger, or you have a different total head of Disney, and you have a different head of Lucasfilm. And so now there might be a conversation where they're like, I'll tell you what, bring it back. Let's talk about it again. Maybe it's still dead, but maybe those conversations haven't happened yet.
Dave Filoni's like, all right, now that I'm in charge, he's like, let me go back to Disney. They know I'm George's golden boy. I got cred. And he goes back to Disney and he's like, guys, the Hunt for Ben Solo thing, I figured it out. We're going to do the whole script.
With Ahsoka.
Remove Ben Solo, and we're going to call it The Hunt for Ahsoka. Coming to theaters in 2030. But we don't need to hunt for Ahsoka. What are you talking about? You always need to hunt for Ahsoka, guys. And he puts his hat on and he walks out. I don't know, man. It's
it doesn't happen though, and the feedback was, I just can't figure out why she needs to be hunted.
She's already been hunted. She doesn't need to be hunted again. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this is dead either.
I have a question though, really quick before we move on.
Yeah.
So I put up a poll on Twitter that went for 4 days, and I asked people if Adam Driver made a deal with Disney that if he did Marvel, because remember, Kevin Feige said they'd offered numerous roles to him, and he always said no. If he said, I'll do it, but you got to give me a Ben Solo movie. Now, remember, they have done this before because Harrison Ford said he'd come back if they let him do Indiana Jones again. So, do you think Disney cut a deal with him to greenlight Ben Solo if he played the sinister guy in the X-Men movie?
I don't think so.
James?
It's a weird play because for Adam Driver, you would think he's kind of at the point in his career where he could really do whatever he wanted. And that he's like, fine, I'll make all this money with Marvel if you let me do Star Wars again. I don't know. Is that weird?
I don't know. Like, if they really want him, they might, because Kevin Feige might say, like, man, just give him the movie. Like,
but he was planning on coming back to Star Wars. Like, it was his initiative so he does want to return to that on his terms, right? So maybe that does make sense. But since it's not a trilogy, like he agreed to a trilogy, but he's like, fine, I'll do the Marvel stuff and I'll get locked in with all that stuff, but you got to give me a one-off. But it's never going to be a one-off. That's the thing. Like, what are you going to do? Kill him again?
I don't know.
Kill him for good this time.
That would be the worst. But I do want to ask, what do you think people said? Yes or no?
Oh, I think people said yes because it's it's a logical theory. Yeah.
And maybe, people probably said yes because of your particular following probably leans towards that crowd. So
I think everybody leans toward Kylo Ren Ben Solo, if we're being
no,
honest.
but you know what I mean. Like when you zoom in to the social media fandom and then zoom in further into you, and when you were really building your following, there were a lot of people who were really Reylos and all that sort of thing. I think it's a skewed poll, is what I'm trying to say.
You're so ridiculous.
John, she knows
you're
what
a woman,
you mean.
therefore.
When she says, what do you mean by that?
Hold on a minute. No.
What you mean?
I did not say that at all. Holy cow.
I'm feeling a little feisty tonight. The answer was yes, with 66% of the vote. So 2/3 of people, which was a big chunk of people, voted yes. And a lot of the comments were like, yeah, totally possible. The weird thing for me, and I think a lot of other people thought this too, was when Josh Horowitz, it's always Josh Horowitz, by the way. We got to have him on the show because it's always him. He did the interview with Kevin Feige. He brought up Adam Driver. He does it every time. He brought it up again like 2 months ago. And Kevin Feige was like, yeah, we keep asking him and he keeps saying no. And then I just feel like, what would you do to finally get the yes? Like, could you leverage something to work for you? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if those
so weird
happen.
I feel like this whole situation is weird, to be honest.
I'll tell you how I feel like just as a fan.
Like Kevin Feige knew that Adam was coming back when he answered that question. But it's not like he's told the reporter to feed him the question. Like, I don't know. It's like
it's weird.
Yeah.
My feeling on it is how I felt about the Gosling thing. I'm like, we didn't even get our Gosling time, and Marvel's like, got him. And I'm like, oh.
Yep.
And it's like now this one feels more like, because this is what I posted as my sports analogy. I'm like, this would be like if Aaron Judge left the Yankees for the Red Sox. And it's like you see your favorite player. He says he wants to return.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's not coming back, though. That's a weird analogy because
Cleveland.
Yeah, like
I don't know that. I don't know. My point is, like, when I watched that video, and you got the whole new X-Men cast, and then you got that big giant screen, and Adam Driver walks in the middle. In my brain, I imagined the Star Wars version of that, and how people would cry, people would lose their minds, and people would be like, "Oh my God, this is incredible!" And Marvel got that moment. They took.
I would have cried if he came out on stage and said, "I'm coming back at Ben Solo,"
just
like I did with Rey. I cried with Rey.
I was crying. They still have that moment. They can still do that. That didn't go away because Marvel did it too.
I did appreciate his awkward humor though when he was like Magneto, and everyone was like, "Wow!" And he's like, "I mean, never mind this person," and the crowd was like, "Oh, okay, sure."
Right, yeah. I just mean if all this happens and he doesn't come back, it's like we just got like Marvel.
Don't put that out there. Don't put that energy out there, John.
Well, it's right now, according to Dave Filoni, that is the energy, and I have to only go by what he's saying. I hope he does come back. But I don't like seeing Marvel taking our people and like being like, we have all these people and now we got your people too. And I'm like, that freaking pisses me off. No offense to Marvel, but like Star Wars is supposed to be on top in my eyes. So
should we
to Marvel's defense though, Ryan Gosling has been pushing for Ghost Rider for like, what was it? Like 8 years now? Like before Starfighter.
Yeah.
And all right.
I would like to see the numbers on how many has Star Wars stolen any Marvel people?
Not really.
I can't think of anybody.
You could say Paul Bettany, maybe, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, Vision, yeah.
But he was Ron Howard's friend who came in because Michael K. Williams couldn't come back or whatever.
Oscar Isaac went to Marvel after. That's true. Yeah.
Went to Marvel.
Yeah, went to Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, next thing you know, it's going to be like they took Harrison Ford from us.
They did. They
Red
did.
Hulk
And Alden.
Yeah.
Where was Alden? I saw that on the comments. I can't remember.
He was
Alden
in
being
that Iron Man show. Ironheart.
Oh,
Ironheart.
Yeah, interesting. I
Yeah.
didn't watch it.
But yeah, so we'll
Amelia
see what
Clarke.
happens. We'll see what Filoni has to say as we move forward. But he is very good at saying nothing when it comes to looking forward. But if you want to talk about things that exist, he'll talk for like 45 minutes straight. So that's who Dave Filoni is. But we have a lot of other stuff to get into. So we got the AHSOKA trailer to kick things off. So let's dive right into the Resistance Report.
It's the Resistance.
All right, now before we dig into the AHSOKA trailer, there would not be a TRB Live if there was not a super chat from David Ford.
Oh. Go ahead, John. Why don't you read it this time?
David Ford 1564. Thank you, David, whoever you are. When Disney minus purchases Paramount, there will be a Star Trek crossover and you'll have to cover it. May the Force live long and prosper. Thank you very much, David. Yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to happen with all these monopolies, but we appreciate it and we thank you. All right, so yeah, a lot going on. We are going to talk about the Starfighter teaser from D23 because although Disney has not put it out publicly, some sneaky devils took their phones out and captured it, and we've seen it. So we are going to talk about that teaser. Hopefully they send it out to the public so people aren't watching phone versions soon. I think that'd be a good idea. But let's kick it off with the Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2 trailer. We have it's officially called the teaser. It's about a minute and a half, but we do get some dialogue and a lot of action in this one. Who wants to start things off about your first overall thoughts on the brand new trailer for the next Disney Plus live action Star Wars show?
I feel like James has to go first because
it's a Rebel sequel.
It is. It is Rebel time. Yeah. Go ahead, James.
Honestly, to me it doesn't feel like Rebels. Like, I mean, I guess I get that it's like Thrawn and you see a little bit of Hera and some of the other characters in there, but since it heavily leans on young Ahsoka and young Anakin and that relationship, it feels more like a Clone Wars show or a Clone Wars movie. Oh no, show, I mean to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on this trailer alone, you know? But I my overall thoughts on this is that just like trailers are supposed to do, it like invigorates my hope for Star Wars. And I go like, yes, that looks awesome. All that looks great. There's nothing about that looks like it's going to let me down. I don't know that I've watched a Star Wars trailer though and been like, yeah, that looks crappy. You know?
Yeah.
That looks awful.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe there's some fairness to that, but the way that they're talking, they're like leaning into the space battles and some other stuff. I mean, all this, I mean, that looks like a Star Wars movie. And I'll always go back to us when The Mandalorian first came out and we saw those clips and we're like, I can't believe that we like tonight is the night before we get a Star Wars movie, but it just is going to keep going and keep going and keep going, you know?
Right.
And I look at this and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like the volume to me. Most of this looks very big, epic. The costumes look great. Hayden looks great. I assume he's de-aged. Is he de-aged or no?
A little bit. They
He
had
maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because it looked straight up. I don't know, like as I would expect him to be. But I really didn't even notice it in Obi-Wan. It was Obi-Wan, right? Yeah.
I
and everybody was like, no, he looks real old. Yeah.
But not this one. Yeah.
I mean, I you know what? Let's talk about it. What else to say? You know, you can't really see. They're kind of hiding Balin there, so it's not like it's super noticeable. They've got like basically his face blurred and covered up and everything.
I do love though that I forget where we heard it about how the current actors went to the family of Ray Stevenson to figure out if it was okay for him to do the role, which is really nice. I'm going to kick it off and say that I think this is a great trailer. I think it looks amazing. Like you said, James, it looks on par with what you would expect from Star Wars television. I think I'm more hyped than I thought I would be seeing Hayden Christensen again. Like that's my favorite episode from the first season of Ahsoka. But if you were to ask me what my favorite movies are in Star Wars, I wouldn't tell you the prequels because they're not. However, there's something about seeing him which is so like nostalgic and just like, I don't know, it feels like a hug in Star Wars to see Hayden Christensen on screen. So anytime that I get to see him booked and busy and working and doing an amazing job, by the way, is a highlight for me. And I think every line he delivers in this trailer is amazing. It's so emotional to just see him and Ahsoka interacting. I think he's loving it. I loved the ending of the trailer. It was the perfect quote to end with. Like, are you going to be a Jedi or not? Like, what are you going to do here? Is so just like what Ahsoka is, right? It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely liked that. I usually don't pick up on the dialogue in trailers because I'm just so immersed in the music and the visuals that I miss when they're like, when they put like text on the screen or something, and they're like, this time you will find out.
Right.
Like, I'm not paying attention to what you're saying. I'm like waiting for that to go away or whatever.
A new adventure.
But you're right.
Yeah.
I did notice, I went back and I listened to all of the quotes and I'm like, oh, okay, wow. So he's kind of calling her out on leaving the order still. Like Anakin's Force Ghost sort of still has this grudge that's like, you abandoned me, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I mean, you've been acting like a Jedi, but you're not calling yourself a Jedi. You're training other people, but what are you doing? You have to make this decision. Are you a Jedi or are you not? You know, and I imagine that means that what the story for Ahsoka's arc in this is she's already sort of found herself again, but she needs to reclaim her title. And probably by midpoint or the end of this, she will say, you know, I'm no Jedi, but she'll be like, I am a Jedi or whatever, you know, something.
It's
just that'll be some cool line.
Yeah, just like the moment he comes on screen, I was just like where he like cuts away the log or whatever it is. What is it? I think it's a log that gets thrown at them. I'm just like so hyped.
Yeah. It's a very good shot.
Yes. He like, imagine being that attractive, first of all, that like everything you do looks good. Like the damage I would cause in this world if I look like
digitally. What are we doing?
He's so attractive. It's like stupid. Anyway, but the ending just was really cool to me. And I don't even nitpick the hair too much. Like it looks a little too kind of wig to me, but I understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit.
I love this whole setting, the outfits, the snow.
I love the outfits. And I was like, oh, are they going to do a Columbia version of these things? But they did already. They already did the Anakin snow jacket. I'm gonna have one nitpick with this trailer, and I'm sorry if I ruin this for anybody. I don't mean to, but actually two nitpicks. One is this like hallway scene right here, and I'm like, how many times are we gonna have the scared rebellion looking at the end of a hallway? We just had a similar situation in Shadow Lord. We obviously have the Rogue One scene. Like, how many times?
The original opening scene of Star Wars.
Of course, the original. But I mean, like in the newer stuff. Like, how many times are we going to do this? Like, panicked, like, oh, what's coming? See, I can't. I'm like, can we not do that?
It's becoming a trope where people say, like, Star Wars excels in a corridor, in a small corridor or whatever.
Yeah.
Those corridor scenes are the only ones that feel, unless I'm mistaken, the only ones that feel, like a volume sort of setting. But they're also supposed to, like, how are you gonna, like, if you have a scene where everybody's in a small room, like, what are you gonna do? You can't
David says it in the comments. Star Wars loves hallways. They love a good hallway. They're all about it. And then the other thing I was gonna, sorry, go ahead, James.
No. I was gonna say, but to your point, the Rebels thing, you have 3 B-wings come in with the lasers. That was heavily,
that was cool.
You know, pushed in Rebels and all that. So yeah,
Yeah. The only other nitpick I had before the hallway thing was compared to you, James, I do listen to the audio often in these trailers because they're splicing things together to like make it say something that's probably not happening in the show.
right.
So there's this part here where Ahsoka says, I had a vision. And Sabine goes, what did you see? And she goes, war. And then they cut to this line of we're in more danger than I thought. And the way that it's spliced together, if you listen to it with headphones on, it's sloppy. It is a sloppy cut. I don't know who decided to put that so close together. They tried to make it like, what did you see? War. It's, oh, we're in so much danger from the war. But this is clearly a completely different scene that she's saying this. And the way that they cut it, it just like the war and then were blend together as words. And it just like, I was like, why would they put two words that sound so similar next to each other? It gets lost unless you're watching with subtitles, which I was. And that is the only nitpick I have. Everything else about it is wonderful. I wanted to get that out of the way, to be honest. Again, Hayden is my favorite part. I think Rosario is my second favorite part. Obviously, she's Ahsoka. I think everything she does in this series is amazing. She made me a fan of Ahsoka. I'm sorry to people that were Ahsoka fans before this. I joined with Rosario Dawson. She's my Ahsoka, I guess. Not that Ashley isn't wonderful. And like you guys said, I think because of the space battles, it feels so much bigger. And I think as Star Wars fans, we're all in need of a really good space battle. Like we really want a good one, like Rogue One, like really good. And I hope we see more
good.
Paul.
All that looks
I
great.
haven't seen Paul really in this. Waiting to see him. Those are my
Yeah. So
looks like we go to Dathomir too, which is kind of neat.
Oh, so Dathomir is going to be the central location on the in the known galaxy, and Peridia is going to be the central location, obviously in the unknown galaxy or whatever. But my thoughts on this are, it looks bigger and it looks more theatrical for a reason. They moved production on this to the UK. They did not use Manhattan Beach Volume Studios for this. It is an entirely different production. And I actually spoke with somebody I know who had previously worked on season 1. And
I was going to say, some people went to the set last fall, I think.
Yeah, so my understanding is a lot of people who worked on season 1 were not invited to work on season 2. And they did a whole new crew, UK based. It was on a sound stage mostly, not a lot of volume stuff. So this season is going to look more organic, for lack of a better term. So I like the trailer a lot. I mean, I do feel for, the people who didn't get to work on this, who were able to work on the first season. But I like the trailer a lot. I'm still gutted about Ray Stevenson, but I'm holding hope that they are going to hold true to the character. But my biggest takeaways are, James, you brought up this feels more like Clone Wars. I think we're getting sequels to both here. And all the stuff happening on Peridia with Ahsoka and Sabine, who looks like she has a lot longer hair. So I'm thinking maybe they're continuing the real time length of production matching story the way The Mandalorian did. So this may take place 2 years later. Like Ezra hasn't seen Sabine and Ahsoka in this long. But I think the stuff happening on Peridia, the way that synopsis read, feels very Lord of the Rings, like they're going on a journey and they're going to encounter trouble and danger and mythical things along the way with Anakin by their side. You're getting the Clone Wars tie-in there as they march to seemingly some sort of connection with World Between World, Mortis, that deep Clone Wars heavy lore stuff. And then in the known galaxy, you're having the conflict between the Rebels, Ghost Crew, the New Republic, and Thrawn over and on Dathomir. So you're getting the Rebels sequel in the known galaxy. You're getting Clone Wars follow-up stuff in Peridia. It's eventually going to come to a head by the end of the season. But a few other things I found interesting. I'm not the biggest Thrawn historian, but one thing that stood out to me is he refers to them as a rebellion still. And he's using that as a tactic of the Empire is not dead. I don't acknowledge a new government, this new republic you're calling it. He's still calling them rebels. He's calling them terrorists. He's still referring to them as a problem to do that Hitlerian galvanizing of people that were the right and they're the wrong. So I found that to be very interesting. And overall, the space battles, like you guys said, these feel like they would hold up to what I see on Star Wars on the big screen. So I think We have higher budgets. They're using more sound stages and sets, less reliance on the game engine volume-based stuff, and that's coming through here. And that shot that you have on screen there, the seemingly some sort of night witch laced cursed lightsaber
Yeah,
blade.
it's the gold guy.
Yeah, it's Enoch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting Ezra, that's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's going to be an art
Yeah.
piece. That's going to be on badges. That's going to be on a poster.
We didn't talk about him yet with all his
Yang with the 4
lightsabers. Oh
lightsabers.
my god.
Overall,
Yang hype.
I think this is going to far exceed season 1. I think Filoni, granted, he is in charge and he's the showrunner of this project. He was going to make sure that his character that he loves more than anything was going to get the treatment he felt like he deserved. He hears all the stuff. He's in charge. He heard what people said about Obi-Wan and the budget. He heard
This
about
is
the
going to be a
de-aging
geeky
comments.
one. This show's going to be nerdy, guys.
It's going to be nerdy. It's going to be high quality because as far as we know, at least for the foreseeable future, this is the last live action Disney Plus show that we're going to get. We've heard recent reports that for Disney Plus, Disney's leaning Marvel and Lucasfilm possibly towards more animated stuff like Maul, that sort of thing. X-Men 97, all that sort of stuff. This may be the last gasp for a while for live action Star Wars. Filoni, it's his favorite character. It's his show. He's in charge. He's putting out all the stops to make sure that this thing really hits, especially knowing that his movie, according to Kathleen Kennedy herself, is currently on the back burner. Dave Filoni is still a creator at heart. He wants to make sure his story is being told as optimally as he possibly can. So this is no surprise to me. I'm glad.
And part of George's story, if we're being honest. This is continuing George's vision.
This is a great trailer. There are nitpicks here and there, but this feels big. This feels like it's going to be a loaded. There's going to be action, fun, lore, everything you need. And again, like I said, you're going to get that dichotomy of Clone Wars follow-up with Peridia, Rebels follow-up with Dathomir and the known galaxy, and eventually that's all going to come to a head when Ahsoka and Sabine find their way back, possibly through World Between Worlds or who knows what.
Thrawn looks good too. I don't know if we said that. He looks so much better this season than last season. Thrawn.
I don't know. I'd have to go back. Did he look blue? He looks like paler in this season, right?
Yes.
That's a good thing.
I think he looks more realistic than he did last season.
Maybe
the hair's a bit better too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My quick question was, at the end of season 1, did Thrawn not make it back to our galaxy? Did he not? He did jump, right?
He did jump.
So what has he been doing for 2 years then?
That's the question.
Developing. He's probably on Dathomir, engaging with the witchcraftery and building his armies.
Probably. All right. Well, we're missing one big thing that needs to be talked about in this trailer, and nobody's talked about it yet.
Who is
the guy? The guy with the green lightsaber. What's going on? Who is that?
Oh, the 3-segmented lightsaber. So that's clearly a Clone Wars era flashback.
Oh, sorry. I blanked on a second. I was like, what are you talking about? This guy.
It's clearly not an Inquisitor of any kind, and he still has a light side lightsaber. He looks like Tom Cruise in Minority Report with Batman makeup. I don't know what's going on with this guy.
Yeah, I kind of don't understand the lightsaber unless he's doing it's like 2 lightsabers or something that he's just keeping it perfectly steady until
it's one with these segments.
No. Yeah, I get that, but that's what it looks like he's doing at first. But then I think we see him using it later where it's more like a staff or whatever. I don't know if it feels weird. We've never seen the weapon before. It's cool.
It's a block so that they can't cut it in half. It blocks because it has 2 hand grips. So Darth Maul's is together. So if you cut it in half, then it's 2 pieces. His has a block in the middle that if someone was to try to chop it, it's just going to bounce off because it's...
The rate of losing a limb just has to increase by 80%.
Oh, I would totally kill myself with this thing.
It doesn't seem like a very practical weapon, though.
It also just looks cool.
Can you click through or just slow frame through him spinning around or something?
Ooh.
Yeah, what's going on right there? He's
doing little spinnies.
It doesn't let me click through that much. My bad.
It's it's such a bad design. I hope this guy's in the show for 30 seconds and they kill him and that's it.
Oh, but it's together there. He's got
It's
it
always
together there.
Yeah.
No, because at the beginning it's apart. It's like he's got the thing in the middle. Here, the thing's not in the middle.
So he
See how
can shut off the middle one, connect the two, and then be like, bing. Okay.
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't know. Have we seen it? Have we seen it where he's using it like a staff and the green part is also in the middle? Other than like, it could be like two double-sided lightsabers that are connected, and then he opens them up and they're both like playing off of each other, but we don't see him like turn them, and then he has two double-bladed and he's going to be using them like that. But right now he's currently got them together.
Yeah. This is one of the most attractive nods I've ever seen in my life. Like if he walked up to me and gave me this nod, I'd be like, "What? What Like my brain would like melt. Like, look at this nod. He's like, "Yeah, Ahsoka." She's like, "Okay." I'm like, "That's your thought when he nods at you like that? Is like, let's take this guy down?" It's
a nice de-aged nod right there.
But yeah, I see what you're saying, James. Maybe it's two pieces. They're just using this shot because it looks cool.
Yeah. It doesn't end with him like maybe showing that they are sort of breaking apart or whatever, and then he's got two double-bladed.
This is the character, though. This is the character that people are going to over speculate on, and he's going to be in the show for 30 seconds.
For sure. I just want to know what he is. Is he a fallen Jedi that's going up against? Because at this point, he wouldn't be like who? Like who would this be? This is like young Ahsoka.
Oh, that
I don't know. You know what I mean? She's still fighting with him. So like when would this be? And who would this guy with a lightsaber? I don't know. What loyalty does he have right now? It's obviously not red. You know,
well, because he was killing stormtroopers here.
Yeah, he's clone troopers. He's a fallen Jedi.
Because she's seeing all these troopers dead, and they walk in, and then there's this guy.
He's gonna be one of those guys.
At the time, they didn't really have fallen Jedi. Like that wasn't happening.
Yeah, but that we know of, but like there's so many Jedi, you don't think a few of them were like, I'm not going to school today, and then they just never went back, and like
no, I get that, but he's trying to actively kill them.
Yes.
I love that you guys are having this serious conversation. Everybody in me in the comments are just talking about Anakin's nodding, and you guys are like, he could really be a serious Sith Lord, and I'm like,
well, I think I just have a feeling that. I think not all of the audience are as into the nod that are listening, I'm
just joking with you, John.
But no, look at Ahsoka, dude. Like, this could be a foreshadowing to her leaving the Jedi Order. This guy could be like, I'm not a Jedi. Maybe he says the quote first, Maybe that's the foreshadowing and like shows Ahsoka.
You think she stole the quote?
I mean, yeah.
That's
I mean,
like her quote, though.
Yeah, but George Lucas had Anakin take Han Solo's line. This is where the fun begins. Like that's a Han Solo line.
We started this by me saying, there's the thing that the dialogue that's going over the trailer is Anakin is still like sort of miffed about this "you left me" sort of situation, right? So that's in the present. If you're going to show flashbacks, the flashbacks have to tie into that thing of Ahsoka leaving. How did Ahsoka get to this conclusion? Well, obviously we saw it in the Clone Wars. We saw a bunch of stuff. Jedi kind of turned their backs on her and accused her of some stuff. But this, you're right, John. It could just be a random Jedi that's like, you don't know what's going on. I know they're doing this stuff and it's the Jedi who are the problem or something. And, but he hasn't like totally turned. So he's not bleeding out his lightsaber or anything, but I don't know. I that's probably all that it is. And then they kill him or they turn him in, and I don't know. That's probably where it is. I'm just saying they lean in this guy. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of him, but he's evil, trying to kill our heroes, and he has a green lightsaber that is different. So it's like we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
All
right. But yeah, I any other thoughts on the Ahsoka trailer before we move on to Starfighter?
I'm pretty hyped for this show. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Like,
great.
I think I went into season 1 of Ahsoka very hesitant of like, what am I going to get out of this? Because if we were talking about like what we're the biggest fans of, Clone Wars Rebels is not my big thing. I need to rewatch it again. but it's just never where I gravitated towards. And Ahsoka season 1 like really caught me by surprise. I was like totally into it, really enjoyed all the storylines, and the acting was amazing. And I just wanted more. And again, the Hayden episode was my favorite, which again is so bizarre to me because the prequels were not my favorite. But seeing him on screen is just so wonderful that I will take anything he's in. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'll retweet it. I'll support it because I just want more of it.
I think it was good too that they breathed life into seeing Hayden in live action in a Clone Wars setting, which was just really cool.
And
even whether you're a Clone Wars fan or not, it felt that Star Wars was willing to do stuff like that. And we're like, whoa, if you're willing to go to another galaxy and you're bringing in the space whales and you're turning Clone Wars into live action, like the show felt like it was like, this is, I think, what we thought Star Wars was going to be. For many years with all the live action stuff, and now we're making more movies and all this stuff. We got really excited about all that thing, and then a lot of it just didn't kind of happen. The animated shows didn't necessarily pay off in live action for any reason, and we were kind of left a little bit out to dry in that regard. But Ahsoka had a lot of things in it that was like, oh heck yeah, that's what we wanted.
100%.
We wanted the Mortis stuff. Yes,
the investment of being a Star Wars fan and learning all the things and drilling down into storylines and the lore of Star Wars paid off with Ahsoka. Like you felt like you were rewarded because you knew these things and you took time to figure out how did we get here in the timeline? How did all these pieces come into play? And I think, again, that was my biggest critique with Mandalorian and Grogu is that I didn't get that payoff. I didn't feel like as a Star Wars fan, I'm getting all these elements and I'm learning as I'm going. Whereas with Ahsoka, I felt like I was learning about the universe and where it was going and where it could go. And that's exciting because what else do I need to learn about Star Wars? Like, where else could this story be going that I'm
what Obi-Wan
of?
was doing in the desert for 20 years is exactly what we need to know.
Whereas Mandalorian Grogu is fine, but it didn't do anything. It's like he went on an adventure and it didn't really impact anything. Like this clearly, if the trailer says a big war that's going to impact the timeline, I'm like, okay, yes, I see that. How is this working? And it just feels like I should be invested.
Yeah. I see a lot of the theories saying like they think this guy's the brother or the son or whatever.
I don't
because Ahsoka's younger here than when they went to Mortis. So then are we saying they encountered this guy before they even went to Mortis in the first place? So
I don't know that she is, man. Actually, you'd be surprised. Like when the Clone Wars ends, she's only 16.
Yeah, that's true. But this is where we're gonna get Obi-Wan. So does he roll up and save the day during this forest scene? Are there multiple flashbacks? Like we don't know, but I think we are getting.
I'm like burning to say this probably is where you're gonna see Obi-Wan, where Anakin and Ahsoka fight the battle and win it, and Obi-Wan
shows up.
Oh, I must have missed everything. And
he's gonna have some quick comment. Yes.
And this guy's gonna be a nobody, just like to give us that flashback. But I love speculating.
He's gonna make some witty comment like, "I told you to wait for me," or like, "You didn't wait for me," or something like that. Yeah, ultimately, I see it.
I told you I'd be back, and we're all like, "Oh, meta." I get it.
They just have James Arnold Taylor do the voice over Ewan McGregor anyway.
Oh my God, they would never. They would never.
The last thing I have on it is Dave Filoni is being afforded the opportunity to drive in two different gears here, where on the known galaxy side with the conflict, he can really put his foot on the gas. And then with the Peridia side with Ahsoka and Sabine, Sabine's supposed to be training. So we're going to get that sort of Yoda-Luke journey with Sabine and Ahsoka that can be a slow burn that allows us to see Sabine earning it. Because there was a lot of like, what is this?
I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of Sabine's. But I'm not on her side. I need to be convinced.
But I think season 2 will be that convincing that those people like yourself need for that. And I need it too in terms of her Jedi journey. So I think having them split works so well in their favor where we can see that slow burn of as they go through these challenges and these trials, as Anakin's saying, in this sort of Lord of the Rings-esque journey that they're on race against time against Balin or whatever. We'll get to see the maturization of Sabine in the way we got with Luke and Empire, while all the other chaos was happening with Han, Leia. This is the Ahsoka Empire Strikes Back. And that's what Filoni's setting up in terms of storytelling framework, and I think it's going to work. It looks great.
Do you think she's going to die in this season? Because we've
Not
already
this
seen
season.
comments about
No.
her emotional finale of this
Unless it's the last season.
That's tricky. I'm leaning no, but we'll see.
Might be having a pie bet.
I think
all right,
they
next,
could, if they don't want to do it, they could they could kill Thrawn and be like, the war was stopped. Yay us. And we're all like, but we kind of wanted to see the war, but we know they're not going to make season 3. So
win the war.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Next
well,
story.
Bulio. Good to see you.
Can we just talk about for a second? That's the name they chose for that character.
That's what you should have talked to Boyega about. Like, what's the deal with Bulio, brother? What's going on with Bulio, man?
I think I asked him some pretty important questions. Are you coming back to Star Wars? Have you spoken to Dave Filoni?
And what's the deal with Bulio?
He got into a lot of. Wait, hold on. We're not pivoting yet. He got into a lot of flack recently about his comments about Rey and stuff at a Comic-Con.
Oh, let's not go down that because that'll be another 20 minutes. But
I know. Maybe next week we'll talk about that.
How he said this before, though, how he would have done it and stuff. I don't think that's new.
I don't think that's new either. I do have some thoughts that I don't think are as, I would say, harsh as a lot of people were saying. I think sometimes people just say things that they think are right and don't really look outside the bubble of their viewpoint of, hey, this isn't a bigger diss than it is. Like, I don't think he meant anything terrible by what he was saying.
No.
But when you're like hearing it back, you might go, ooh, I don't know if I wanted to say it that way. You know what I mean?
Like, my thought is, do I think Daisy Ridley, if she saw that, would give 2 cares about what he said? No.
No, she's not even watching the videos.
Nor should we then.
She's with her hot husband in like lovely restaurants and reading books online. Like, the girl's living the life and working out.
About it like that, Buffalo. All right. Moving on, we have more to talk about as we approach an hour. We got a tight hour as always. So not everyone has seen it. Although if you're smart on the internet, you have seen it. But if you went to D23, you definitely saw it. The teaser for Starfighter, about a little over a minute, was debuted exclusively at D23. People popped out their cell phones. They recorded it. Disney has not put out the teaser. Therefore, people are watching and sharing a crappy version via their phones. But we have seen it because of those leakers. We weren't there. We didn't leak it, but it was out there and we watched it. So, James, I'm going to start with you on this one. Starfighter, first teaser. What are your thoughts?
It's I don't. I'm not that interested in Starfighter, honestly.
I just love that.
Okay.
Just so the audio listeners really get the vibe. That
I'm not really feeling that. I'm just kidding. Are you guys? Come on, come here, man.
Shut up.
Wait, where'd you get that
one?
I'm bringing it. Did
you make that?
I'm so excited for Starfighter, right?
Oh
we all need
wait
to
a minute. No, wait. Did you make that, or where'd you get that?
No. I got it from somewhere.
Wow, I'm impressed, James.
Wow.
I caught that quicker than John because I looked at John and he wasn't reacting, and I was like, "Am I overreacting?"
It was a long play, so I wasn't sure. All right, so now that you do like it, well, we never know with you. You hate Obi-Wan, you know. You think Rebel, you think Kanan's the greatest. Like I never know with you. But what's the deal? First of all, I guess reveal or don't reveal how you got the shirt. I don't even know that those were available yet. And 2,
classic T Public.
Someone did it.
Yeah.
So James made his own design and threw it up there and bought it off his own store. All right. James, what do you think of the teaser now that we officially know that you are hyped about Starfighter?
Right.
He also overnight shipped that. Dang.
Yeah.
To your house.
No, it was like it was like 2 days or whatever. But
well done.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, first of all, they're not gonna put that trailer out. If they do, it's long ways away. We're gonna be 6 weeks or so before. No, it'll probably be more than that. It'll probably be Super Bowl.
February?
You think that long? I don't think that long.
The first
Disney
teaser, the movie comes out in May.
They're gonna put it in front of Avengers.
John, Lucasfilm would never do that.
No, they're putting this in front of Avengers. I'm telling you, they're putting that teaser or an updated version in front of Avengers.
That's not bad. Yeah, I don't think that's it though. I think that what we saw was just for D23, special thing. I don't think that's coming to the public. Now, granted, you know, I predicted that they would not show anything at D23, and I'll admit that I just completely forgot how big D23 was. I was like, that's a thing that they do. It's for like their parks and stuff. I don't think Star Wars is going to have a presence. And then this year's D23 was just like overwhelming with so many announcements from every aspect of everything they're doing. It was absolutely crazy. So it would be crazy to think that Star Wars wasn't going to be a part of all that they did. So yeah, so they showed some Starfighter stuff, but again, they didn't release anything to the public, and they probably won't, I don't think. Do I like the footage? Yeah, sure. It looks good. It looks big. It looks more like a movie than what we see from AHSOKA, but I still think AHSOKA looks great, you know? So it's like hard to really compare, but I think there's just something about like the cameras they're shooting on or something, that just like a specific depth of field that they take the time to critique every shot. Not that they're not doing that on television. It's so hard to say, but like there's just this extra level. So that looks polished. The only thing about Starfighter that worries me is just the babysitter thing that Star Wars can't seem to get out of.
Or apparently Jonathan Tropper can't get out of, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, but no, overall, like, yeah, sure, I'm fine. That looks good. I'm excited to have the characters. I do think that this was really cool. The whole announcement. He comes out with the Mickey jacket. They swap him out for this. They
played a reel of him as a young kid in Mickey Mouse Club. It was very cute.
Yeah. And I think it was a very good thing for people to feel like Star Wars like still has something in it that we've not seen before. How many times have we looked at that logo before, the Rebel logo, and never thought that if you flip it upside down, you could make a skull and crossbones? You know, it's just like the ideas seem really cool and really fresh when packaged like that, and say, now you got to go see the movie, because if that's just a taste and you feel like you've never seen anything like that, wait till you see this movie. It's just a really good message overall.
Christopher Ford's like, I was right there.
I thought it looked very Skeleton Crew, and I was like, can we get...
Oh yeah, it's very piratey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know where Lacey's coming from, so I think I'm more leaning where James is at, so I'm just going to give my take, and then I'll hand it off to you, Lacey. But
where am I coming from?
Well, the Jonathan Tropper stuff. So,
well, we're talking about the teaser, though.
Okay, so I mean, then go ahead. What are your thoughts on the teaser?
Ryan Gosling's hot, and he struts on screen with such a strut that has strutted before, right up there with Han Solo and Din Djarin, and it was everywhere.
The Twitter greatest hits tonight?
No, but it was hot. Yeah, you know, I kind of laughed at the teaser in the beginning. They were like, what Starfighter is this? And I was like, there it is. He's like, well, it's this Starfighter. It looks great. Looks like a fun movie. I read a lot of reviews of people that were in the room, and they were like, oh my gosh, it's like such a blast of an adventure. And I was like, I didn't necessarily get that from this short of amount of footage. Like, I think they were just showing you like, hey, we're in production. We're doing it. It's going to look like this. It looks great. I didn't get like any real feel for what the show's going to be. Like, James, you compared it to Ahsoka. Like, there's no comparison. Ahsoka was amazing. That trailer is beautiful. I loved everything about it. It was intriguing. It just screamed Star Wars at me. I'm going to be honest. I don't know, outside of the logo, which is epic and awesome, and that jacket is going to make bajillions of dollars for Disney. I see Ryan Gosling. I see him in the Han Solo outfit. I see the ship and everything, but I'm not getting the Star Wars feel yet. I haven't gotten that from this teaser. Not in the same way that the Ahsoka stuff is. Like, Ahsoka screams Star Wars, that it might intimidate someone that's not into Star Wars. This is clearly a teaser for a movie that is Star Wars-esque, but it's for everybody. And going into what we were about to talk about, Jonathan Droper, Tropper, whatever his name is, I worry that they're falling into the trap of we're going to make this movie good for everyone. And I don't necessarily think that's the way to go. And that's my concern, is that when, like, going back to weeks ago where we talked about George Lucas saying, like, you have to find people that want to tell a story, that have something that they're passionate about, they have something to say, to then tell the story. Don't let the fans dictate the story. And then going into our next story, which is an interview with a podcast with the writer, Jonathan, talking about how this is not a part of the Skywalker saga. This has nothing important to do with that. And it's just like a fun adventure that if you're not a Star Wars fan, you can go to this. I hate that. I hate that messaging. We shouldn't be telling, they don't do that for Marvel. They don't do it for DC. They don't do it for any other franchise. Harry Potter, Hunger Games, like, you don't see that verbiage of, you don't have to do homework, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan, you don't have to know anything, you can just come. I'm not gatekeeping in the sense of, like, you can't come, but I don't think they should be so focused on making it approval, like, approve it to everybody, making everybody want to, like, get along, because then I'm worried about what story are you really telling. And what are you really doing inside of the Star Wars universe if your attitude is, well, it doesn't really follow the legends and lore and everything of Star Wars. It's just a story about a fun ship in Star Wars. I'm like, okay, well, then you're telling me that stories we've gotten from Visions have more weight and importance to them than this one that is supposed to be a big headlining movie for Star Wars.
I agree with what you're saying. But when it comes to this, like, I hate when they say that about Maul, Shadow Lord. Like, I'm like, get out of here. You don't have to watch anything.
No, that is a very nerdy show.
I'm like, get out of here with that. But with this, I think you can say it because the goal is to move forward without baggage and actually tell us a new story, which the next two stories we're going to talk about with Ewan and Hayden pull that back in. So my thought with this is, do that, but don't say that. So, because when you say that as Jonathan Tropper or Sean Levy, or I doubt Ryan Gosling's probably too smart to say that. It comes from a place of fear that you are not drawing Star Wars fans, so you're trying to draw anyone. That's
an insult that you're going to come into my house and then not invite me to the party.
I agree. I don't think they should be saying that at all. Do it. Give us all brand new things. Give us a Star Wars movie that I don't need to watch 1 through 9, but you don't have to tell us that. Just give it to us.
And that's all I'm saying. And that's the thing. It's not like it's a one-off quote with him. He keeps reiterating it. And I think it's coming from a place of insecurity of, I don't know if I've written a good Star Wars movie, but I feel good about the story as a Sean Levy movie. And I'm like, okay, you like working with Ryan Gosling, which, by the way, Sean did say over the weekend at D23 that Ryan Gosling is good at everything, which he is, but that he's good at romance, and that's in this movie, which I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. I would love a romantic Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Wait, you heard something that said they were confirming that there's romance in this movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Sean Levy said, when you're looking at someone that is trying to be an all-rounded person, comedy, Ryan Gosling, action, Ryan Gosling, romance, Ryan Gosling. And he's like, and we have those things in this movie. So I was like, hell yeah, romance. But yeah, I really hope they don't go too blah with this. I want to have fun. I want to have a good time, but I also want to remember why I love Star Wars when watching this and not feel like this could have just been a normal sci-fi movie without Star Wars at all.
Yeah.
I know what you're feeling, but I have to double down on what I said about Mandalorian and Grogu, which was coming out of the movie. My thought is, I think this is the direction that Star Wars needs to go.
And you had said that, yeah.
And Star Wars fans are not going to be happy with that. And I think that Starfighter is doing the same thing. It's just, it's like we are going to try our best to separate ourselves. We don't want to stop making Star Wars movies because we like money, but we all sort of agree that maybe the best thing to do is to separate from a mainline story or the big epicness of it or something, and then it will feel refreshed when we get back to it eventually. And
It
so
feels
right
like a
now
reset.
they're like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is like, it's
Yeah.
just like, what can we do for a while? Like, we don't want to jump into episode 10. We just feel like that's not the play, because then 20 years from now, we're going to be on episode 18, you know, and
They
it's
also
like, what are we
can't
doing?
reboot. So like Marvel's been rebooting people with the multiverse. They've been rebooting things in other franchises, being like, oh, we're going to start over with Batman. We're going to do a Star Wars currently doesn't have the ability to reboot or start over. So
Yeah.
to your argument, James, it feels very much like they're pivoting, just like John said as well, and they're just kind of resetting. They're resetting to something that has nothing to do with anything else, no baggage. My question is, why can't there be baggage? And your argument, James, is like, because they just want to start something new. They want to start a new timeline with fresh ideas.
Yeah, I think that the baggage, the baggage in this case is bad baggage. Like I think they want to try to
Gidge.
I think they bad batchigs. I can't say it. I think they do.
And it didn't work.
Who did? He did?
James. No,
I think that's why I made it back to him, because we were joking about it.
I've lost my train of thought. No,
just a new timeline. New
good baggage, bad baggage, discuss.
I think they're really doing this. They're like, we need to do things that are just not related to that. Like, that's why you're gonna green light projects like our Pod Racer movie, because they're like, look, it comes with the nostalgia. It's all related or whatever, but it's not as heavy. Just enjoy Star Wars movies. We want you to go back and enjoy Star Wars movies. And every once in a while, when those surprises come in, you'll be like, oh, it was really cool. You got to go see it because it's connected to stuff. And that's like something they want people to say. But if it's expected every time to double down, triple down, quadruple down on how much it's all connected, I think that's getting too heavy for people. It's working, I think, in Marvel's case, so they don't need to worry about that stuff. But in the case of Star Wars, I think people are so like burnt out on what happened in 8 and 9 that it's just, and some of the TV shows too, that they just need that refresh. And I think that's probably why Daisy Ridley's movie's in trouble too, because they're like, we don't know how to do it without it being like episode 10 or of clear continuation. And we're not greenlit for that right now.
I think I didn't really give my thoughts on the clip yet, and it is a quick clip, but I think the purpose of it was to set the tone of what the movie's going to feel like. And it's going to be high paced, high action. It's going to have humor. Like Sean Levy's been saying like, we have all new aliens, all new spacecrafts, all this stuff. And we didn't see any of that in this clip. This was just to set the tone of he's doing a love letter to George Lucas's love for cars, fast moving machinery, high octane action, fun adventure, that sort of stuff. And that's what we're going to get. And it may live in its own bubble. It may be something they grasp from it, can continue on in other stories. Maybe it's the kid. Maybe it's Gosling. We don't know. But I think in that 1 minute, we sort of get, this is going to be a big movie. There's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a lot of adventure, a lot of fun. And the way I engage with casual Star Wars fans, like my brother, some of my friends, family, stuff like that, they don't feel like Star Wars is cool right now. They're like,
it isn't cool.
They're basically like, my brother's like, I don't know. He's like, Maul was great, but I haven't really liked the other stuff. He hasn't even seen Mando and Grogu yet. They're hoping Ryan Gosling can be good enough in a Star Wars movie to convince people that Star Wars is cool again, because Ryan Gosling, if nothing else, is cool. And I think that's what they're trying to establish. Star Wars is cool. Come back to the party. And then hopefully that becomes a success. And then from there, they can build upon that. Like Lacey said, he grabs so many demographics. If this thing's a winner, It's not just a winner for Starfighter. It's not just a winner for the future blank canvas of Star Wars storytelling. It's a win to let casual audiences know Star Wars is still cool when Luke Skywalker ain't around. And I think that's really important.
And the last thing they need in that movie is like, hi, remember me? I'm Daisy Ridley. I play Rey Skywalker. Right. And it's just like the people that go to the movie are going to be like, oh my God, I was having a good time. And now you're throwing this at me again.
In a context, I agree.
I'm like so offended now.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Even people that like Rey are going to be like, I thought this was.
No, I would totally be hyped. I'd be standing up going, hells yeah.
I would too.
Hells yeah. She finally gets her time. Finally, we get to see a movie with her in it.
She gets
Hooray.
The movie itself does not have to change. It could totally be that. And I would like it in both realities where everybody is like, yes, Star Wars, or this reality where people are kind of like, I don't know, all that stuff. I didn't like anything they did. That's kind of where we're at. I would like that movie either way. But the point is that I feel like since we're here, that might be a bad move for the longevity of the series.
Yeah. All right. Well,
can you just do that one more time? Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi guys. Hey, it's me, Rey Skywalker. Remember? Yellow lightsaber. Check it out. Wait till you see the next one. My buddies Finn and Poe are back.
Or they just redo it. She rolls in the last frame, and Ryan Gosling's guy, what's his name? Cade something?
Yeah, he's Cade, which everybody that said he was Cade Skywalker are now eating it because it's not that Cade.
He's like, who are you? She's like, I'm Rey. He's like, Rey who? She's like, Rey Skywalker. The movie ends
punches her in the face.
People will lose their mind.
I'm kidding. That was my joke. He just.
Oh, all right. We don't have a lot of time, so let's just go real quickly through these two bananas stories about Ewan and Hayden, and then get to the questions because we have a live Q&A on Patreon. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/TRB podcast. If you are a patron, we're going right there live after this for a live Q&A. You ask us anything, not just Star Wars. There's some of our most bananas bonus podcasts. Or you can join. $5 gets you in. We just had someone sign up today, Mark, who we met at Rebel Scum Con. Hi, Mark. He did submit a question too. We look forward to that. Also, I did see our buddy David from Star Wars Stuff Podcast in the chat. You're going to be in the base one day soon, buddy. We hope to collaborate with you guys. It was really good to see you, man. All right. These two stories are pretty bananas. Ewan McGregor showing his lack of care or concern over timelines and relationships and how things go down in Star Wars. He's pitching everything at this point. We joked about last week. He's put it into the next gear. Foot is on the floor, folks. He just wants back in as much as possible.
Money, wants Obi-Wan. Yeah.
To the point where he's like, maybe I can go on an adventure to find Yoda. And I'm like, oh, all right. Okay. Or maybe I can have a love story with my wife's character from AHSOKA.
With
Hera. Who's like,
he goes, my wife joined. Yeah, he goes, my wife joined, and I was like, oh, maybe we could, I don't know, get together in Star Wars. And everyone's
Obi-Wan
like,
just opening every door in the world between worlds, like, Hera? No. Okay. Hera? No. Okay. So that's crazy. And then you got Hayden, who's also throwing everything to the wall. He can't be coming back enough at this point. He's saying, let's do some live action Clone Wars storytelling, maybe even stuff they've already done, and bring the whole gang back. He wants 80-year-old Samuel L. Jackson back. He wants Natalie Portman back, who he says she wants to come back. He wants Ewan there. He wants him there. He wants everyone involved from the prequels back to do this DH fest of more Clone Wars. And all I have to say to that is, no more. No more. The period of the Clone Wars is 3 years, canonically. 3 years. You know what else is 3 years? The period between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. We got some comics out of that. We've gotten 7 seasons, a movie, a Bad Batch, flashbacks. We are Clone Wars out, folks.
AHSOKA.
I think they've told more than 3 years worth of stuff to watch in the 3 year gap. There's nothing else to do but do live action versions. I think Hayden's crazy. I think Ewan is freaking crazy. I don't know that either of these things are going to happen, but I love them both, and I love that they want in because there's nothing I love more than when Star Wars actors love being a part of Star Wars, but they're freaking nuts, and they got to stop at the Clone Wars. That's it. That's my take.
My whole
It's
thing
not
is
that I
Order
hate it, it's just enough.
66. I
It's
feel
enough.
like we've gotten so much of Order 66 that I'm like, enough, guys. Seriously, enough. James, what are your thoughts? My thought is, I don't care. It doesn't bother me either way. So I feel like at least that caters to Star Wars fans. So I'm going to say yes.
We're getting it in Ahsoka season 2.
I know, and I'd still would take an Ahsoka season 3, season 4, season 5. Like
I would too. Yeah.
I love how nerdy it is. I love how it gets so deep into the lore and like rewards fans for being invested for all these years. I like that. I'm into it.
I think I recently said, despite what everybody would say, is I recently was like, yeah, sure, whatever, do Kenobi season 2. You know, I don't care. Bring Ewan back. That's fine. But if there are other ways to do it, I'll tell you, I probably like looking at just this trailer that we just got with a young Ahsoka and a young Hayden Christensen, and you made it work. It looks really good. You could do the same with Ewan McGregor. You could give him the cut back, you know, and do all that. I don't think that that's a crazy thing. The visual effects would probably be pretty hard, and at times be like, we're de-aging this guy for like the whole movie. You know what I mean? It'd be tough. But I could also see a movie maybe where you, I don't know, that it might be tough, but like maybe not a movie, but like a TV series is what I mean to say. Like where you are cutting between Kenobi being in the desert, you're cutting between Ahsoka doing whatever she was doing, you know, around that time after Anakin's death. And then flashing back to these Clone Wars things. And that's a good portion of the movie too. I keep saying movie, but like it would be a TV show. It could be, they also could do like a 1 hour special for Disney Plus. That sounds stupid because they've not done anything like that, but like, I don't think that that's crazy. Don't spend all this money on a TV show. Don't even spend that much money on a 2 hour movie and put it on Disney Plus. Just shoot what you think is a good story, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour. I don't care. Just do a one-off thing, live action, kind of big budget, and just everybody would tune in, pay the fees for Disney Plus, and watch that thing. And
Dave,
you know,
Dave Filoni and Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor will walk out at Celebration to announce it and tell the audience, just so you know, going into this, you don't have to watch anything.
Oh God.
Yeah, the Clone Wars
specific. Yeah.
The prequel trilogy is not required viewing.
Can we get more Luke? That's what I want. Like, I really want more Luke.
Sure.
And someone made a joke, and I retweeted it on Twitter of like, we're in CGI Luke jail. And it feels that way. It's like, can we get some more Luke, please? I've gotten a lot of Anakin, and I love it. And I got Ewan, love that too. Can I please get some Luke up in here? Like, what was he doing?
Yeah, they just, I hate to say it, but they're too afraid of it because the original trilogy is, you know, sacred. They're probably just never.
Meanwhile, Marvel's like
characters and stuff.
And Robert Downey Jr. is back again. This time he's playing Spider-Man.
And when they finally make that decision, Alden will be too old to come back as Han, and it will suck.
Oh, why'd you have to go there, man?
And now Robert Downey Jr. is Thor.
They're gonna recast Han again.
Robert Downey Jr. is playing Robert Downey Jr.
It's like Rob Schneider is a stapler. He's a stapler.
Yeah. Rob Schneider is a carrot. All right, let us get to some Ask the Resistance, and then we're going to head to Patreon for our Q&A. But let's answer some questions right here to warm up.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
All right, time for Ask the Resistance. You guys hopefully have some pretty good Star Wars questions, and we should have some good answers. Kicking it off with Raylo, R3-YLO, what up? Asks, which starship do you think will be faster canonically? The Millennium Falcon or Arabon, as in Cade, Arabon's G17 Reaper. Well, I think it has to be the Reaper because that's what they're saying. That's the whole pitch in the movie, right? Is that it's the fastest one in the galaxy. And I hate to say that. I hate to say it. But there's also a bit here that Solo kind of lied a little bit. But go ahead, John.
So I think Starship and Starfighter are two different classes. And he's saying it's the fastest Starfighter in the galaxy. I think the Millennium Falcon still holds fastest starship in the galaxy. That's how I'm seeing it. I still think starships, because it probably has more firepower. You got the coaxium cocktail. I think Falcon's still faster, but as far as starships go, this is the fastest.
To double down on that, because I think you're right. I think that there's also other ways that they could play this too. Like, for instance, if he is a racer or something like that, you could say that, well, it's the fastest starfighter in racing, but when you're talking about racing, you would say in the galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, this is the fastest NASCAR quality vehicle in the galaxy or whatever, you know. So you could probably get away with some of that too. And also, like, top speed is not always what makes something fastest. Like, if you can get around a track, handling might be better to have than the Millennium Falcon going like top speed and then not being able to turn, you know.
Did the Kessel run less than 12 parsecs, James?
I know, but that's a little different. And it's rounding up, you know, so yeah, no. Yeah, that's my take on it, is that this is probably true that the Millennium Falcon probably will still hold that title.
All right, last question of the evening is from Californology. Okay. How much do we want to consider Tom Cruise helicoptering into set and filming a lightsaber duel? That's true. He did. And they also said, I think it was in the mud too, because he was like down in the mud filming it. I strongly believe this is related to Matt Smith and Mia Goth. I stand by the fact that they're a tag team in this movie, from the fact that in his interview, he brought her up first and she was like the only person he brought up. And they wouldn't get Mia Goth to be a light side character. There's no way.
Right.
So I think
did they officially say she's a villain? I think they did, didn't they?
I think they did. So I think the rumor was that Mikey Madison was going to be a villain, and then she turned it down. Yeah. And then Mia Goth took it, so we all just kind of assumed she was a bad character. They haven't really said what her character is. They haven't named it yet. They haven't said what it is. But then that's gonna be the Matt romance. Smith. You think that's the romance, Matt Smith and Mia Goth?
Yeah, probably.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I think they're bad guys, and they're chasing them with lightsabers in a swampy location, which I think we see them flying across the swamp in that teaser, like a swampy planet, right?
Yeah, they were doing some sailing, or I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. But what do you guys think about the Tom Cruise thing? I think it's cool. You're going to see a bunch of that in the behind the scenes, I'm sure.
I would use that as much as they possibly could. And, you know, Tom Cruise is the biggest movie star in the world, and
he's going to be at the premiere. Yeah.
We're talking about, well, like I was saying, trying to convince people that Star Wars is cool and the place to be and go see Star Wars in the theaters. If Tom Cruise is on set and they use that and he's there flinging his popcorn in his mouth on a preview screening, that can only help. So
it's true.
Yeah, I think that is something that they are probably considering, and I think you're right, Lacey. There probably was a camera, because they said Ryan Gosling wasn't there. And
the one day he had off.
Yeah. So there will be footage of this, and they will use it as long as Tom Cruise is cool with it, and I think that will only help. But James,
I don't think he cares. Tom Cruise doesn't seem to care about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I think it's cool, and they'll probably use it for red carpet stuff or whatever, but it doesn't have any impact on the movie itself. I think he just decided he was going to do that one day and surprised him. I do look at, if you look at the trailer, I do think that is Ryan Gosling and the kid on that boat that's being pulled by the other thing. Probably just because you've seen the first image that we got was them like leaning on the boat or whatever. So
very Waterworldy. Yeah.
So that's that.
Well,
cool.
Thanks for your question. We really appreciate it. And that is it for tonight.
Okay, TRB Resistance Officers will be on Patreon shortly after this. So head to patreon.com/TRB podcast. Watch there live with us. You can submit live questions. We have questions you already submitted. We always take live questions as well. And you could join. $5 gets you in the base. We appreciate all the support. It allows us to keep doing this show, keep doing Nerdy and Nice, and keep doing the things that we're passionate about in growing TRB. So thank you all so much. And a big shout out to the generals on Patreon: Carmelo, Jetta Rosewater, Frank Grande, Chris Morales, Mike Ramori, Brendan McLaughlin, Sneaky Zebra, Stephen Garrow, Darcy Nips, Christy Hines, Colin Cormier, and Chris White, and John Reese, who I believe was in the chat with Sarah.
Oh, yeah.
With Sarah. Miss you guys.
And then the Spice Runners: David Probus, Neil Shaw, Kendall Gellner, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers of Fort Worthian, and Brian Smith. Thank you all so much for all of your support. Thank you all so much for listening, watching. We hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time right here on the Resistance broadcast. See you around, kids.